No country in the world has an immigration policy like that.
And no one is arguing that we should. I yield back, Mr. Chair.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Remarkable, because I want to remind the listeners that this is all happening because of a mere 59 refugees. Only 59 people were accepted into this country from South Africa as former refugees, and they are absolutely freaked about this because, and we've seen a lot of NGOs even start closing down their refugee programs because there's this small, minuscule possibility that a white person imperiled because of the color of their skin might be placed in danger. Then they are rightly afraid of this, because what this step is doing is opening up the conversation, as leftists like to have, a conversation about the fact that it is possible for white people to be systematically not only discriminated against, but genocided.
Well, it just goes to show you that they understand that the symbol in this case is more important than the act itself.
Yes, and there's no room left for argument. The majority of our quote-unquote elected representatives, the entirety of the media, the NGO apparatus, they are anti-white. They do want us gone, and there's no talking with these people. Trump was given a mandate, and that mandate is to plow all of these people under and make sure that they don't have the ability to do the thing that they've been doing for the last 60 years, 80 years to this country. So it's, the conversation is over. What we're watching now is the ancien regime, these old self-hating whites dying with their failed ideology. So it's nice to see Rubio going up there and just basically telling them to just stop being ridiculous.
Yeah, you would think common sense would be, okay, we don't let everyone in. Okay, 59 white farmers, we need farmers, versus 59 military age, 65 IQ Haitians. Okay, so basically who is that, Kane was saying is, no, you don't, those are the exact same thing. They both deserve to be here. I mean, maybe we're reaching the point where it's pretty obvious that, what they've been doing the whole time. The only thing we do have to worry about is the fact that because we have the system of government we have, eventually somebody is going to get elected and get power who's going to be like, nope, those two things are the same thing. And as a matter of fact, the whites can stay. Let's let in the bioweapons.
I mean, this is the key rhetorical point, and I feel as if I'm preaching to the choir, but it's really important to get across for some of our newer listeners. This exchange perfectly identifies what immigration or what refugee means to the left and the establishment and the regime, whatever you want to call it. Refugees and immigration policy is only predicated at hurting whites. It is only predicated, as Charlemagne had said, that they don't like the idea that white people can be in danger from their own policies and belief, because then it would be too real and it would formalize everything that these people have been advocating for, which is the death and destruction of white European civilizations and countries. And just to even hear Marco Rubio, a Cuban, to go up there and to simply say, listen, our immigration policy is terrible. 59 people is very easy to vet. And these people were in legitimate danger because they live in a country or lived in a country where it is constitutionally protected speech to chant, kill the Boer, kill the farmer, kill the white farmer, and shoot them. That's the kind of world that they live in. And that's the kind of world that they would love to see in every other part of the world, including our own country. And let's not forget, Tim Kaine is the senator from Virginia. He was the running mate to Hillary Clinton in 2016. The policies that he's advocating for and arguing right there up on the dais is the same kind of shit he would have been running for in the administration if Hillary Clinton had won the election. These are the stakes, gentlemen. This is what we're dealing with, and it's not going away.
And chalk one up for the plan trusters. I saw some moron on Twitter, like maybe 3 or 4 days ago, talking about how the Trump administration has not done a single thing for white people. If that was something that you believed or still believe, just take the L. We have an administration that is at least doing things in the direction that are going to help the white base of America, heritage Americans, for the first time in living memory.
Yeah, I mean, this is just straightforwardly pro-white, not just in America, but on a global basis. There's no way to cope around this and continue being a Trump hater. Trusting the plan, absolutely vindicated here. I know a lot of people were worried that Trump and Musk would just ignore what's going on in South Africa. The absolute low key thrashing he gave the South African president in the Oval Office was incredible as well. That was actually one of my favorite Trump conferences of all time, to be honest, simply because it was so calmly and masterfully handled.
Well, and also the friggin' South African president doesn't have it is like half the IQ of Zelensky, so he can't even fight back. He can just sit there with that stupid smile on his face, like, what? Who am I? What am I doing here?
Yeah, it's right there up on screen, and I mean, it's anyone who's been following. And this is the thing that sort of irks me, at least personally, is that almost every American nationalist or anyone who's been sort of a white advocate over the last 50 years has always drawn parallels to what has happened in Rhodesia and to the Afrikaners in South Africa. For as long as I can remember, at least reading some of these things, like you read in Staturation or you read anything by Wilmot Robertson, like there's stuff out there that's been talked about for decades. And this is the first time after America's egregious foreign policy that had led to the destruction of Rhodesia, as well as to facilitate what has become South Africa today, where there's a meaningful turn in the other direction. And on my channel, I've talked with Conscious Caracol a lot and Sven Zeil over at AfriForum, and we covered this court hearing that allowed Julius Malema of the EFF to say these things and to chant these things and it be protected speech. So to just have Trump, in the same way he did with Zelensky, bring them into the room, confront them like men, and actually show them to the world and to the mainstream press, this is what you advocate for. This is the destruction of peoples and cultures that have been there longer than your people have. We're not going to tolerate it anymore. So to see the sanctions and to see this kind of public thrashing is a warm welcome, check mark in Trump's administration for the second term. So I'm very happy with it. I hope to see more of this, and we'll continue to push him in that direction as long as we can.
We are starting with this whiteness. You are cutting the throat of whiteness in Ghana. Shoot to kill Yamaza. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Pa, pa, pa.
They're sitting on the couch tapping their foot along.
Well, you can see the black lady there on the right smirking and barely holding back. I mean, it's quite obvious
to get up and dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just smiling.
One would hope that it was a nervous smile and not a smile, duper's delight, or somebody smiling because it's something she agrees with. But we all know that that's most likely the case.
Absolutely, and I'm just reminded of that great quote from Camp of the State Saints that they'll burn down the well-carved, furnished wooden oak door, and just for the warmth. They don't care about any of this. And it's the same thing here. You can show them what they're doing. You can show them why this nation disapproves it or why this administration hates it, but they don't understand. This is what they know, and that this is what they'll do. And it doesn't matter that they get castigated on the world stage. It will probably not change a thing. But if it means that the United States government sanctions them and that we allow those who wish to leave to come here, I would trade every single Haitian on this earth that's living in my country right now, legally or illegally, for every single one of those Afrikaners that want to come home. And I think that it would be a net boon to the country. And that's the most obvious thing that will get said tonight.
Without a doubt. And just before we move off this, all that any of us have been seeing coming out of the mainstream media is exactly what you would expect. It is non-stop gaslighting. So it's just, again, there's no conversation to be had with these people. They have the things that they want, they have the things that they believe, and they will do anything to get the outcome they want, which is your destruction.
The message went out in their group chats that no genocide, no white people are not dying in South Africa, and they're just going to sit there and lie. And we do not have a country while these people can continue to speak.
That's exactly what they were telling Trump in the Oval Office. They were repeating that exact same line, even as he showed them the material evidence. He had a stack of papers. He was showing the media and the president of South Africa, demonstrating the people who had been killed in racially motivated attacks. And they just continue to just deny to his face that it's even happening.
Go ahead, talk about that.
Please, may we have a South African
His name
question,
is Peter
Mr.
something.
President
He's
Trump?
a terrible
If they're
reporter.
committing genocide,
He's
why
a
invite
quiet.
them to the White
Quiet.
House? I'll be quiet.
Quiet.
Sure, that's my question now.
Let's go.
Thank you so much, President Trump. Annika Larson from ENCA in South Africa. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you very
hosting
much.
us. What would you like President Ramaphosa to do about the situation
I
that
don't
we've just
know.
seen on the screen?
I don't know. Look, these are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. Horrible death. Death. I don't know.
But you know that there are
Pick
young
anyone.
people who are
White
dying
South
the most.
Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws. And this is all, I'll give these to you.
I
Yeah,
love
this
the
was
InfoWars angle on this.
Well, one of the things that they were running with was, when they go to a farm and if random criminality happens and they go to a farm and it's owned by whites, there are usually blacks working there and they get attacked too. Hey, and what point are you trying to make? I mean, that's not an argument. That's just me. I mean, they're fucking they're savages. They're savages. What do you want?
Yeah, it's just the same word games that the left plays with everything. There's the left continually displays to us that the time for trying to have an honest conversation with these people is long past. They are incapable of having honest conversations. All of the things that they desire out of the world is some black and white nightmare of bloodshed. And it's just, it's time that that Donald Trump realizes, and his administration, I think they do get it. I think they get it more than they let on, that it's time to just do what needs to be done and put an end to these kinds of people having a say in governance.
Yeah, I mean, just to go out there on the media side and to say death, another white South African farm. These are things that you would only hear on this side of the political right. These are things that you would only hear that would be dismissed as fringes or just as sort of this race baiting propaganda. No, this is reality. And even for whatever reason, outside of the plain and simple truth that these things are happening, I'm very happy to see it on the world stage, where the president of the United States is simply calling out for the fact that this government is motivated by the dispossession and murder of whites who had built that country for what it was and had been there longer than almost actually all ethnic groups there. They were the first to settle it. The Zulus and the rest didn't come until much later. And so, yeah, this is a good thing to see and to confront it on the world stage. What are you going to do? The evidence is right in front of you. You can gaslight me, you can deny it, but we can see all the time the rows and rows and rows and rows of crosses that they put out on the streets and they put out everywhere, and to listen to them chant about how they want to take Irania next. No, this is a good sign. And regardless of what this, the things of events that may have led to this, this is positive because the administration has now forced the media and has forced the international community to recognize that you can either be mask off and be honest, or you can try and deny what's right before your faces. Either which way, this is a rhetorical win for the administration. It's a rhetorical win for white people in general.